Hi, my name is Montgomery, a teaching professional at the Ridge Golf Course in Auburn, California. I'm here today with my top student, John Catlin, and we're going to discuss a couple of your recent wins and some of the things that we prepared going into those. You want to share a little bit about your wins and some of the things that helped you with that?
Yeah, we've been working really hard on the mental side of the game, and some of the things that have helped me in the past that maybe sometimes I kind of forget or overlook. It's easy to react to things that aren't necessarily in our control.
Yeah.
And that was probably the biggest thing, is I just kept focusing on what do I actually have control over.
Is that more like stay in the present, and is there some...
It comes down to how we perceive what's going on around us. If we perceive these things as things that we need to run from, then we're probably going to run from it. Or if we see these things as opportunities to grow and become stronger and face these things and fight through some adversity, then we're going to rise above it and we're going to become better for it, better for going through it.
What does it mean by staying in the present? Failure lives in the past and in the future, and your job is to stay in the present because that's what you have control over.
Correct.
So what does that actually mean to you, John, and in your two wins?
First one was the International Series in Macau,
Okay.
And then the second was the Saudi Open.
When you're coming down the stretch and you know that you're in contention, how does staying in the present relate to you, and what does that mean?
What do I need to do to hit this shot correctly? Not necessarily what might happen in the future, where might it go. It's,
okay. So not if it takes a bad bounce or something like that.
No, exactly. Because again, it's not really in my control.
But once you're over the shot, you're not thinking all those things, are you?
No. It's,
oh no, you sure you don't have 5, 6,
no,
maybe 7 swing thoughts at one time?
No, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. I've done all my thinking before I've walked into the shot.
Okay.
And once it's time to hit the shot, I'm just trusting my training.
Coming down the stretch, was there any times where you had to really apply that more than others in your two wins?
Especially in the second one, not getting too far ahead of myself because I had a big shot lead. I was leading by 7 or 8 going into the final round, and by the time I made the turn, it was 9. You start to think about, maybe I got this in the bag, but you're like, well, maybe I don't. Maybe I just need to just keep hitting this shot that's right here in front of me, because it was easy for my brain to start thinking about, okay, we're getting closer.
You mean even with your experience, your mind actually wandered a bit, like, I got this.
Oh yeah.
And then you kind of catch yourself a little bit and bring yourself back into reality, meaning in the present, right?
Correct.
The shot that's right in front of you.
Correct.
But is there anything that actually helps you pull you back?
First thing I tell myself is, I'm like, nervousness happens to everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're 8 years old playing in a U.S. kids tournament, whether you're a 30-year-old professional golfer trying to win a golf tournament. Nervousness is going to happen.
I agree with that.
And not to shy away from it, not to think that you're wrong for feeling that way, and then to just kind of unpack it for what it really is. It's your brain putting excess things that aren't necessarily there. You're focusing on those things versus what's really happening. We're right here. We got this opportunity. I think one of the things that's helped me, and I would say for an 8-year-old it'll be harder, is that I can look myself in the mirror and honestly say, I've been here before, I can do it again. Well, if I'm 7 or 8, maybe I don't have that experience. Maybe I don't know. Maybe those nerves can actually feel like they're even bigger.
Right.
Because I can't tell myself, like, hey, I've done this before.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I think, time and time again, and keep trying to put yourself in that position, because that's what we talk about, right? Mm-hmm. A lot is just get yourself in the position to have to go through those and embrace that moment when you're there, because it is a moment.
Yeah.
If a young kid goes out and shoots 85, he or she is not trying to shoot 85.
No.
They're not trying to not do what their coach says.
No.
They're trying their best.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think that's part of staying in the present as well.
Yes.
Even as a parent or a coach or anything like that. I think you share the same sentiments on that.
Yeah. And I think the other thing too with it too is you have to realize that there's no substitute for experience.
Correct.
And so when you are young and you are going through those experiences, see them as like, this is how I'm going to do it better in the future if I don't do it well here. Right. If I do make a mistake and I don't do it the way that I'd like to, well, that's going to prepare me for the next time I'm in this situation. I can handle it better.
It's awesome. Thanks, John.